guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you a video today to talk about Nike changing the upper on the Hypervenom Phantom 2 and the Hypervenom Finish, the current generation top-end models in the Hypervenom lineup. Now, the reason why I'm making this video in the first place is we've been seeing more and more professional players wearing what looks to be a Generation 1 Nike Skin upper on a Hypervenom Phantom 2 or a Hypervenom Finish, the new graphics with the old material from the previous generation shoe. A lot of you guys probably saw this picture that I put on screen of Ross Barkley, who plays for Everton, and his fully customized Hypervenom Finish with, again, the first generation Nike Skin Hypervenom Phantom 1 upper. That shoe actually has a Nike Tiempo sole plate and stud pattern as well. It's pretty heavily customized, but it's interesting nonetheless. And like I said, we've seen multiple pros now wearing modified versions of the Hypervenom Phantom 2 as well as the Hypervenom Finish with first generation Nike Skin uppers. Now, for those that aren't too familiar with the whole Hypervenom, I guess, drama, if you want to call it that, is that the Hypervenom Phantom 1, when it launched, was actually pretty well received. People really liked the Nike Skin upper that it had. It's got a mesh-based synthetic material with polyurethane on top that makes for an upper that's very soft, very flexible, thin, but has a nicely kind of padded sensation to it. And that's not to say it's a perfect upper. It does overstretch. It doesn't necessarily have the best stability characteristics, but it's very, very comfortable and definitely offers a really nice touch on the ball. Again, it's part of the reason why the Hypervenom line launched with so much success. Upon the launch of the Hypervenom Phantom 2, which happened about a year ago now, they changed the upper significantly. They gave it the same Nike Skin name, but the actual material itself is much firmer and, dare I say, hard. I've been pretty critical of the shoe on the channel, and I've said this before. I've made a comparison obviously between the Phantom 2 as well as the Phantom 1, and I've said this: the Phantom 1, I just prefer the feel of the shoe in general. It's more comfortable. I prefer the touch that it provides on the ball, but performance wise, the Phantom 2 is technically an improvement. It just doesn't offer the same feel, doesn't have the same characteristics that we got from the Phantom 1 and really what made the Hypervenom line popular in the first place. So for me, I'm not a huge fan of the Phantom 2 or the Finish because of the newer Nike Skin generation upper. It just doesn't have the softness, it doesn't have the comfort that I'm looking for. With that being said, Nike seems to be changing the upper back to the original Nike Skin upper. So the mesh-based synthetic with the polyurethane covering. Now, it's probably not going to be the exact same thing. There will be obviously modifications to it. And based on all the pictures that I've seen, they are including Flywire as well. And this is something that actually, by talking to a couple different retailers, it is something that I can confirm is 100% happening. And it's a really, really interesting thing because this is not something that we usually see from Nike. What I've been told and what I've actually seen, just because I deal with this on a daily basis, is that the Hypervenom Phantom 2 and the Finish and really the current Hypervenom line, because of this upper changeup, the sales have not been very good. People aren't buying this new Hypervenom line, mainly because they don't like how they feel. It doesn't have the same comfort, it doesn't have the same softness, it doesn't have what people really liked about the first generation of Hypervenoms in the second generation lineup. So basically what Nike is doing is going back to the drawing board and giving us the first generation Nike Skin upper with obviously what I assume will be some modifications. Again, all the pictures that I've seen do have pretty much the same Flywire layout that we currently have on the Phantom 2 and the Finish, but just with a different base material, which is going to completely change the feel of the shoe. Another thing that's kind of interesting about this is that from the get-go, not in the form of a firm ground shoe, but in the form of their Hypervenom X indoor line, we've had the Hypervenom X Finale, which does have a Generation 1 Nike Skin upper. It's not the same mesh base, it's a slightly different pattern. It's got the thin polyurethane covering, and it does have the incorporated Flywire. So in comparison to the first generation Hypervenom Phantom 1, it offers pretty much the same feel, pretty much the same softness, pretty much the same touch on the ball, but it offers better reinforcement, better stability because of the Flywire system. So pretty much what we have on the Hypervenom X Finale right now is what it looks like we're going to be getting on the Phantom 2 and the Finish. The Phantom 2 will have this upper with the mid-cut design, and the Finish will likely be just a low-cut shoe with, of course, the old material. So very, very similar to the original Hypervenom Phantom. Like I said, this is something that I can 100% in fact confirm will be happening. How soon will this be happening? I would assume pretty soon, but I don't have any kind of official date or anything like that. That's just something that we're going to have to wait and see. But it's a really, really exciting thing. I'm really excited to try it out. I was a big fan of the original Hypervenom Phantom, and like I said, not so crazy about the feel of the Phantom 2. I think the Phantom 2 is a great performer, and a lot of people who actually have the shoes really, really like them as well. But for me personally, I just prefer the softness and the flexibility and the general feel of the Phantom 1 because of the Nike Skin upper that it had, which we're now going to be getting on the second generation of Hypervenom. So pretty big changes. Not sure if they're going to be changing the name or anything like that. I don't think the price point would change either. I would expect all of that to stay the same, but what will be changing is the upper. So look forward to that if you were a fan of the original Hypervenom Phantom and have been disappointed with the second generation of the shoe. So that's pretty much it in terms of what I have to talk about, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Is this something that you're excited about? Why or why not? Will you be going back to the Hypervenom line, given that they do change the upper? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you have any questions as well regarding this particular topic, leave them down below and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.